And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to another live on Wednesday with the Misfits. We are back from the National, all of us back at different times. I drove all the way from Chicago back to Texas, so it took me a whole day on Monday to drive. But how you guys doing?
I'm
Rick?
good.
I'm
I'm just
good,
looking
man.
at some baseball cards. That's why I was a little late. I lost track of time.
Have you not had enough baseball cards in your life throughout the National that now you're still looking at baseball cards?
No, I had to come up here and do some organizing. I have cards everywhere. Put them away. I had done a video where I pulled a whole bunch out, so I had boxes and cards everywhere. And then as I get to looking, I'm like, this slab needs cleaned up. So I start to take some slab renew, and then I'm like, my black border PSA sleeve would look better on this one. So then I start re-sleeving. You know how it goes.
Yeah, right. And Rick, how about you? Any hangovers?
Got my hat here, the national hat. Actually, this is last year's hat. It's Cleveland, so it was half off. So I had to buy a hat because I
You paid
forgot my
money
hat.
for that?
That's
Did you
right. I
get a
got to
free cut?
advertise for the national, man.
They should pay you to advertise.
You're right. I'm a big time YouTuber.
It's like when I buy a car and they put the dealership license plate or the name. Sometimes they used to put it on the car,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "You need to take that off or pay me. I'm not driving around advertising your company."
It only cost me, I don't know, $15. So it ain't bad.
15
Nice.
bucks. I
It's a
could have
nice,
bought 5
it's
cards
a
for
nice
that.
hat, man. It says Cleveland on the side too. That's the last time. So it's a. I tell you, maybe I can flip it.
You know what? PSA will probably be grading those.
And you won't get a discount next year because it'll be in Chicago for 2 more years. So they're just going to keep rolling them over.
Speaking of that, you've heard that people are grading PSA magazines, and that's becoming a collectible now.
PSA magazines?
Yeah, the magazines they send to members.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get like a 9, 10 on those things, they're apparently selling for good money. Do you
Are you
believe that?
kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
We
It's been
have
going on
those
for a while.
magazines. We have them in the bathroom.
Yeah, well, you should keep them nice and get them graded. You could sell them for a lot of money.
They are really grading PSA magazines.
Yes. PSA is a cult, man.
You come on.
I'm telling you, pretty soon, like I'm thinking about investing and buying up everybody's no minimum size not met flips. I bet you we'll be grading and selling those in the future.
Well, definitely, definitely. All right, so I have to ask. I am like so upset that I was working because I didn't have a chance to take a picture that I saw all of you guys were in, but me, not this misfit. And I missed out the chance to meet Emmitt Smith. How the heck did that happen?
Well, let me start. I'll start. So on Wednesday, Orlando and I basically got in roughly about the same time. And so we're just hanging out, waiting for John and a couple other people to go to lunch. And we're just hanging out in the Lowe's lobby. And who do we see sit down is Emmitt Smith. And I go, Orlando, turn around. That's Emmitt Smith. And Orlando goes, should I go get a picture with him? I said, I don't bug him. You don't bug him, man. But around us were also a bunch of kids with their briefcases and so forth. And they had no idea who Emmitt Smith was. It's just kind of funny. They're probably trading his card, that type of thing. And he's right there. So, and he had like a female friend that was with him too, and but she was off doing some work. I don't know if she worked for doing with the National or something like that, because she was doing work on the side on the computer as he was just on the phone or having a drink there in the lobby. But anyway, that was my little introduction to Emmitt Smith, and then of course the group of us saw Emmitt Smith at the bar there at Lowell's, and John can go from there.
Yeah, he was sitting at the corner with that woman, the same woman, Rick, that you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was sitting at the corner, and uh, I'm going around talking to everybody. I go up to get a drink, and he's like right beside me over here, and everybody's like, "Oh, Emmitt Smith's over there. Emmitt Smith's over there." And this went on for a while, and nobody's talking to him or anything. So I get about half my drink down, and I'm standing like beside him, and I just turned to him and I said, "I want to shake your hand." And he did, and I said, "Your record's never going to be broken." And he said, "That's not true. It'll be broken." And I said, "But they don't run the football anymore." And he said, "Well, they could go back to running the football. Every record's going to get broken at some point." So he hung out with us all night, and then I was talking to this guy from Fanatics. Saw me talking to him, and it was like he wanted to come up and talk to him. So he came up and introduced himself and said he was with Fanatics. And Emmitt Smith was like dropping the F-bomb at him. He hates Fanatics because he tried to contact them about doing some sort of authentication, and they won't return his calls. So apparently, he was there. How long, Rick? At least like 40 minutes hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And it was really just a small group of us talking to him. And what I never knew about Emmitt was he's very much into authenticating items. And that's why he was calling Fanatics. He has ideas for these guys, and he gets really mad because a lot of the stuff's fake. And he was telling us that when he was making his run to break the record, that he put chips in all his game jerseys that year. So all his game jerseys have a chip in them to authenticate them. He did it himself.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was in 2002. So that was a long time ago. And he was complaining. He's like, they're still not doing that. Because he was complaining about fake autographs, fake uniform, fake everything. But it was really nice to see. I have to say it was really nice to see an athlete so that cared so much about the memorabilia, and the integrity of it.
Right. Lou, what's up, my man?
No, I just went for a walk with the wife. I thought I had till 8:30. You guys said 8:30. I guess I was.
We said 8 or 8:30. So I didn't want to be strict and punctual, because I didn't know what time I'd get home from work.
Hey, Lou, I have a question for you.
Yeah, bro.
How do you decide whether you're going to wear your hat backwards or forwards?
So it depends on the type of hair day I'm having. Kind of crazy. I got my little shock top, but it's easier. Go back. Should I go flat? There's a whole science to it.
Okay. Maybe you could school me sometime when I'm in Tampa.
Lou, were you as jealous as I was when you saw the picture of everyone with Emmitt Smith?
Yeah. I wish Rachel was up here because I was like a sad, like you thought you shot my dog. Like every time I was happy for everybody, but the threads were on fire on my phone. My wife was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "It's just people getting to the national." Yeah, I was like, the boys are at the bar at the Lowe's, just anticipating the little get together. And the next thing I know, I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Because Emmitt is a Florida legend. He was a Gator.
Yep.
So even my wife was like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool. Wish you were there."
Everyone was like, not turned away from him, like afraid to even look at him, I think. So I just walked up and started talking.
Well,
yeah, I would have walked up to him myself if I would have been there.
It was cool though. It was just like two bunch of guys just hanging out. It wasn't like all goo. Then Rick wanted to take a picture. I wasn't even going to ask for a picture. I didn't ask for a picture, autograph, nothing, because we were just hanging out like some bros.
So he was kind of interested in the Fanatics thing and the cards, and the guy showed one of his most expensive cards, Emmitt Smith cards, and he's telling her how much it's worth, and then showed him his rookie card auto. And so I think he was we weren't just trying to Google,
yeah, that guy from Fanatics was showing him. He's like, it's going for how much? He was shocked.
And so he was just kind of talking industry or interested, and so we weren't talking really about his rushing records or this, that, and everything else. It was more talking the talking cards. So he kind of enjoyed that. So and then I said to the female friend who came back, she left, came back. I said, do you mind if you take a picture? So I gave her the camera, even though, she's probably all pissed off. He probably does this, everyone's probably asking her, hey, can you take a picture of us? So.
And of course, Rick has a flip phone. That thing is a total blur. I can't even make out him.
She's the one who took the picture. At least she took the picture, not at her feet or something like that,
Rick gave her the camera, and she put on the cover, and she had to ignite.
Exactly. So it was fun, though. I mean, he's still in great shape, man.
Yeah, he is.
His age. He's got to be what, our age, something like that.
My hand went like inside his hand when he shook it.
Oh my God!
Big hand.
If I were there though, I would have not been able to contain myself. I would have said something to the effect that Barry was better. Give Barry the same line, and I think he would.
No, you don't do that. That's disrespectful, bro.
I'm just saying, my fanhood would have probably seeped out. I'd have been like, with all due respect, I think Barry and you guys were the best, but.
What would you get from saying that? Why does he need to hear that?
It's just you know what it is? I fought with so many people that loved Emmitt, and I used to argue with them, just like you argue Jerry Rice or the defensive back with Deion Sanders.
That's amongst us. I would never do that to Rod in person. Or Deion.
That's disrespectful.
You know what all you're doing is you're ruining it for the next group of guys who want to go gaga over Emmitt, and Emmitt's not going to talk to him because of shit like that. Way to go, James.
I'm not saying that it would have happened, but I'm saying now between us, it would have, like, the craving to say it. I don't know.
Bet your tongue, bro.
But I wasn't a fan of Emmitt. I was jealous that he was getting all those records and Barry didn't have a line.
He possibly had the greatest offensive line of all time. At the end of the day, yes, he had probably one of the greatest teams ever assembled. But you still got to put in the work. You still got to stay healthy. You still got to. That's a lot of yards he ran for.
People try to take things away from him. Yeah. I don't try to take things away from an athlete. Sure, he had a big line. There were a lot of other running backs that had a great line too. And yeah, that probably was the greatest line of all time. Still had to hit the holes, still had to break tackles. Yeah. I don't know, watching him, he was always running down the field. Always.
I mean, honestly, a career could be so many factors have to be put in place. I mean, you got to put in the work to get to that position. You got to have the talent. But you think Pat Mahomes would be Pat Mahomes if the Bears drafted him instead of Trubisky? I don't think so. It's a lot. There's a little bit of luck that goes into it. Pat Mahomes wouldn't be who he is if he went to Chicago.
You don't know that. I mean, Tom Brady, as soon as he left, they won one game.
Yes, we don't know that. But the situation does help. Pat Mahomes went to the best possible situation. He sat down for a year. He wasn't thrusted into the limelight. He had one of the best offensive minds in the game, still does. It helps. I'm just saying.
He did not have a good offensive line.
No, he didn't.
Tampa showed that in the Super Bowl.
Well, to what John said, Tom Brady, without Randy Moss, he put up decent numbers. But with Randy Moss, he was breaking records.
Oh, man, that was...
Didn't they lose the year they had Randy Moss?
Well, the Giants, baby, they ran into...
Well, what about? I mean, that was only one. What about all his other Super Bowls? He won with no names. He won with guys. He won with Sony Michel. He won with all kind of guys that
Deion Branch was his
you never
best
saw
guy.
Again.
Branch was probably his best receiver. Yeah.
Who was that receiver they had early on against the Rams? Was it Troy Brown? What was his name?
Troy Brown.
Deion Branch was.
Anyway, he never did anything after that.
Troy Brown. No,
he never had formidable all-pros around him. There was a different running back every year, different receivers every year.
Those tight ends stayed pretty well until one messed up, but tight ends were pretty solid.
I mean, to your point, if Wes Welker was playing in Cleveland, would he have done what he did?
No.
Or Edelman, if he was playing for the Jets. So there's something to be said for the team around you. Absolutely, 100%. And Barry Sanders on another team, yeah. But quite frankly, Barry Sanders was probably going to break the record anyway. He just retired early.
Yeah, my man.
There goes George.
There
Let's
he
get
is.
it on.
My table.
Cheers.
We
I
can
got
start now.
I gotta wake up at 4:30, so I'm hydrating.
4:30 p.m.
AM. I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. Like, I was on a table stuck. Was there any other experiences I probably missed out on, Rick or John, that I'm getting a little bit upset about with that I would get upset about that?
Upset about? I don't. Nah. Not. I don't think I have any.
No.
Well, I was really upset when I saw that Emmitt Smith picture. I was just
The Misfits party was funny though, because Rick decided we're going to do this,
Like a
and
week.
of course, we don't tell anyone, so we just invite everybody to the bar, right? Knowing that last year I had to bribe the waiter and steal 2 tables because the hostess wouldn't let us in, and the waiter didn't want to wait on us, so we're thinking this is going to be a disaster, right? We're going to get kicked out. So we show up. So I go over to the hostess and I'm like, look, we have people coming. What, do you need tables? How many people coming in? This and that. You're not trading, are you? And she's like a nervous wreck and giving us a little grief. And I'm like, no, we're going to be eating and drinking. We're not going to cause any problems. We're not going to trade. So she's like, all right. So, of course, early on, we engaged with Emmitt, and then everybody started coming, and they started filling up the whole entire bar. And it was great. I mean, everybody's drinking and eating and having a good time. And it was totally packed, but it wasn't like way overpacked.
Yeah.
And
Still
so
comfortable.
the next day, and this is a woman that gave me grief, 2 years ago too. So the next day, I'm having lunch there, and she walks up to me, and she's like, "I'm Giovanna," and she introduces herself, and she starts talking real nice to me, and she's like, "You guys coming back tonight?"
Got those
And
tips
I'm like,
before they-
"No, we have another party, but we'll be back Friday." And so then the bartender who was waiting on me, he comes up. He's like, "You guys coming back tonight?" So I think they like the business that we brought them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And they were busy cracking down on all those trade nights for sure, because they even kicked Mike and he wasn't doing no damn trade night, but they kicked him out and he had to set up at the grass.
Well, you could tell she was paranoid because the National apparently wasn't there, but apparently they told all the hotels to shut down trade nights. They didn't want them happening. They didn't want anything taken away from their trade night, which is kind of messed up because when we were coming into the trade night, there were like hundreds of people they were kicking out that they couldn't take, and you had to have a ban, and so they turned away all kind of people.
Right. I couldn't handle the trade night personally. I did go for like about an hour, and I did a few pickups, and I supported Eric and Scott with a few buys from them. But after a while, it was just sensory overload, and after seeing cards all day long, dealing with people, the last thing I wanted to do is start, just interacting and trying to make trades, with these tight margins that
Well,
people.
James, the thing that I found hilarious was everybody at trade night was trading cards they just bought a few hours ago. They were selling them. So like trade night was all flipping cards. That's what it was. So they were down on the show buying cards. And I guess if they thought they got a good deal, or they'd negotiate down, and then they bring them to trade night to sell them.
Yeah.
That seemed like a new phenomenon to me.
Yeah.
For how widespread it was. I know some people always did that, but
what really shocked me about trade night, and Lou, you'll understand this. I talked to James about it. There were some people set up at trade night that should have cases at the National. There was a table, and this kid and his dad, they had 34 Garrigan and 2 that was a nice copy. They had a 49 Bowman Satch and a 4 that was dead centered, like PWCC top 10% or something. They wanted 180% of comps. I mean, they had a good 100K of cards in about, probably 12 to 15 cards on their table.
Was that
And
the kid with the rambling?
Yeah, the kid with the Ramley, Walter Johnson. And I'm sitting there thinking, first of all, it's so crowded. I mean, it's good that they put it on, but it was just, elbow to elbow. I was telling James from the time we walked in there, let's go, man. Let's go back. Let's go meet you guys to Lowe's or something. But anyway, so I looked around, and I didn't make any deals. James made a deal with B. Roth, which is great. But I'm just thinking to myself, there's so many people there that have so many cards. They have security here. I know they have security at the National, but I'm like, where's the security at this trade night? This one table, Tony Southern Collector was there. Hey, Peter B. There's all these guys that had this high-end cards, and I'm like, where's the security here, man? Like, it's,
Well, you know where my mind is at. I saw that kid. I mean, some of the stuff that they were showing on the live, Keith, the lonely basement here. And I saw the Ram, everyone's like, hey, this kid got Ramley. And he's like, I think he wanted something crazy, but still a 6-figure card. And you got this kid holding it. It's like, are you kidding me? Like,
I know I saw that young kid with a Ramley. I'm like,
but all I can think about
it was like the only vintage card he had.
This kid
like, where did he get that thing?
This kid got no training. He's oblivious.
Well, the same kid. He was showing a card to one guy, and I was like just waiting patiently on the other side of him to look at this 34 Gowdy Gehrig, and there's no I don't want to fill anybody's head with bad ideas, but I'm just waiting patiently. Hey, Rick, what's up? So it was just crazy. It was chaos. I don't know. I'm sure that everybody had a great time, but it was like an eBay too had this guy on the stage away from us who was like a hype master. Like this guy was just going.
Kept yelling and screaming.
And it was so obnoxious. I'm gonna get a padded. Yeah, I'm gonna padded cell. And let me out. Anyway, that was my impression of trade night. It was rather random, and there's amazing stuff there. But
I feel better.
Yeah, there's always somebody on the microphone hyping up.
Yeah, I feel better that his dad was there at least. I thought, this kid's walking around with 6 figures. It's bananas.
But
that thought never crossed my mind. I didn't even think about that.
Well, yeah, I unfortunately, I think the worst. Sometimes I have to think like a criminal, but I just people watch. That's all I do all day. And when I'm off, I people watch. I'm watching hands. I'm watching waistbands. It's I don't know the words I'm looking for. It's like a terrible gift. I hate it, but it's just what I do, man. I can't help it. And sometimes I'll be miserable because I'll be watching this kid hoping someone doesn't take advantage of him because he's a kid. He might be a young man. He might be 18, 19, but he doesn't know life. He's trusting everybody. It's probably more of a flex than anything. It's like, hey, look what I got. But man, you step out that hotel, if your daddy ain't there and you got people you trust, that's an easy smash and grab.
There was a dealer who had a 51 Bowman Mantle stolen. Upstairs, in the upstairs room, I heard about a really high-grade Walter Payton rookie that was taken. It was just, you got to be aware.
Did you hear of any other cards taken?
Yeah, there was a guy that Jim had a friend that was an old timer, and he didn't want him to get taken advantage of, so he took him directly to me. And he was like, hey, James, this is my friend. He's got some good stuff. I want you to take care of him because, I don't want anyone to abuse him because he already had a Jim Brown, a high-end Jim Brown autograph that was stolen. And I was like, oh, no, don't worry. All right, I'll take care of him. I'll do right by him. And he was like, yeah, Jim speaks highly of you. And I was like, yeah, thank you, but I'm sorry. So that Jim Brown, they said probably was around $9,000 because it was a high grade.
So much theft in the hobby now.
Yeah.
Everyone's distracted by the guys on stage yelling and screaming.
Yeah. That broke my heart though, because this guy probably had it like personally signed somewhere when he was younger, and treasured it because it was in a high grade and whatnot. And he's showing them to people, and it gets ripped off. Man,
that's terrible.
Yeah. What you gonna do though? There's people like that.
That's the new hobby, man. You hear about it every show.
I've been on this on our last broadcast. People with Pelican cases now have 3 cutouts on each side showing off these big cards that are in their Pelican cases. Like, we don't already know what's in a Pelican case. I mean, guys walking around with 3 cards, Shohei auto, Kobe numbered auto, Jordan rookie, and then it's just a target. And it's like, I know we all want to think we're at a card show in 1985 or 1995, and then we're this bubble of security and trust. But unfortunately, there's just way too much money and too many opportunists out there. We have to be aware and be smart.
These are just window shopping. Unless you're carrying it like the football with the nuclear codes with a handcuff. Yeah. I mean, why even bring it?
Yeah, and there's some people that say, well, I'm packing. You're not allowed to do that in New Jersey. They say that. I'm packing. Well, right. Who wants to have a choice of like shooting a guy to get your card back or not shooting a guy? Let's be serious. Like, we all deal. Well, Lou and I deal with this, but it's like, you don't want to shoot anybody. You also want to teach them a lesson, but maybe not in that fashion.
And then you have to prove that you were defending yourself.
Yeah,
and that's not always easy.
Well, you can't use deadly force to recapture property.
Right.
That's the law.
Right, so you have to prove that you were defending yourself.
Yeah, you
can't just shoot somebody because they stole your card.
Yeah, you can only meet it with the same force you're presented with. You can't escalate the level of force. So,
I mean, maybe in a few states you can.
I was gonna say in Florida, you got a little bit more wiggle room.
Yeah, here in South Carolina too. They passed a law here about, I want to say about 2 years ago. Where you could just carry a gun around now. You don't need a license or anything. You can just carry it around anywhere.
Every state gets a little. There's different nuances, but.
Oh yes, yeah. Peter B. there. Did they talk about Pepino's Pelican case that he was hauling around?
He had that the first not his first national, but a national a couple of years ago. I think it was the one before AC. He had that for a while.
Well, that's the first national I've been to with him, and it was so great meeting him, and we hung out a lot.
Yeah,
and he's so laid back and mellow in person.
Yeah,
and then you turn that camera on, and he's running from ice.
Yeah, that's one of my regrets. I wish, as long as I've known Pepino, I've never met him in person.
That video he did, we did when we were him and Rick were walking out with the cup of ice, and he. Man, some people got triggered by that.
I was going to ask you got any hate comments?
It's just people don't have a sense of humor anymore, man.
Dude.
I got to ask you a question as someone who didn't get to walk the floor much, hardly at all whatsoever. Was there anything that just like caught your eye that you were like, oh my God, I haven't seen one of those, or the grade or something? Did anything catch your eyes, Rick or John?
The one thing that caught Rick's eye was the woman that was with Emmitt Smith.
That's for sure. That's for darn sure.
Darn tootin'.
You don't see too many of those hanging out at the card show,
Thinking about that, I not really. I mean, I've seen people having some great pickups, and I'm like, wow, those are fantastic. The one thing, the REA room where they were showing off the upcoming auction, it is just loaded with people's dream cards. I mean, just loaded. Rick, how nice were those cards?
That was the best booth. This was REA.
Really?
Rick and I we were just staring in
fire.
Awe. I mean,
what was in there? What was the most memorable pieces?
Oh, there was just every kind of scarce Honus Wagners and Ty Cobbs and that kind of thing. They had a 68 3D Roberto Clemente there, beautiful. It was a 2, but it was beautiful. Like we couldn't find anything wrong with it. Just all those kinds of cards and stuff you don't see every day. There were too many for me to even remember. They were just one after another, after another, after another. It was insane.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was curious to see, the 1,000 of videos. I saw Walmart as a vendor, or I don't know what it is, but what were they doing there? They're just a retail.
Well, they're gonna start breaking.
Oh, that's right. Golly, man, Walmart's getting into the breaking game.
Well, breaking's a multi-billion-dollar business.
Yeah. So they're gonna get a lot
more
of
breaking than selling toothpaste.
So shoot, they're gonna get a lot of allocation. I guess wonder if they're gonna start selling hobby boxes as well.
Do you think did the big beautiful bill account for the legalities and tax implications of breakers? Did they throw something in there?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, they've been breaking long before that.
I mean, at what point is it going to be gambling? I mean, it's gambling. We know it's gambling, but
it's gambling
they're going
for
to
sure.
put in laws to make sure they're going to follow through with the advertised. Are people really winning?
Do you think the government cares as long as they're getting their tax money? I mean, they put a casino in every town, every city, a DraftKings and FanDuel, and I mean, you can gamble anywhere.
You beat me to
anywhere.
Beat me to. I was like, the government doesn't care as long as they're getting their piece of the pie.
That's why I always wondered why they wouldn't legalize marijuana for the same reason. Like you're promoting this, illegal activity and people killing over it, when you could legalize it, control it, regulate it, and tax it. Because people are going to do it regardless. It's like 60% of the population has done it. It's probably higher now. That was years ago.
Yeah. Well, what was some of your favorite pickups that you didn't expect to pick up there, John or Rick?
Oh, well, Rick didn't pick anything up.
Rick didn't pick anything up.
Now the last day, well, I'll let him say it, but Rick, say what you did the last day, because man, it was like going back to the 80s again.
Yeah. So Pepino Man told me, hey, this is a great booth if you're looking for vintage cards. The guy and his wife they're from Indiana, binders galore. There's a place to sit. And I sat down for 3 hours with people older than me looking through binders from, he had everything from 52 on up, Bowman's and tops all the way up to modern, basically. So I picked up a bunch of Hall of Famers right here that I didn't have, that were raw. My neck was killing me. I spent actually a lot of money. These were actually in really good shape, no creases. There's some off center and so forth. So I'm trying to finish up my Hall of Fame run from 53 on up. And it was fun for 3 hours sitting there.
He picked up nearly every Hall of Famer from 53 on.
Rick, was this guy, did he have a sign of himself like up? He had gray hair, gray beard?
No. He apparently everyone would come up and go, hey, what's your next show? You're the best one for buying these things. His wife and kids were there, and I tell you, even Hall of Famers, he would have in his binder 2 or 3 or 4 deep. Even I was on Saturday now, so imagine Thursday, Friday, and I heard her say that basically she had any card you wanted from 52 on up. I got some Bowmans.
That's cool.
They weren't cheap. Well, he gave me a good deal because I spent so much money, but they weren't beaters either. So it was fun. It was really fun. People,
throwback.
Yeah, throwback. And I waited too long though. I should have, because there's some cards that were missing, Hall of Famers that I would have liked to pick up, and I was just saving my money just in case I saw something, and I shouldn't have waited till Saturday. I should have been like Man on Thursday, going through his. He picked up a lot of 71s, I think.
Yeah, the high numbers. But Rick, you got to think of it glass half full, bro. There's no way you would have been able to sit at that table for 3 hours on Thursday. You would have been elbowing, fighting people. This was more calm, chill, relax. Got to go through the
But this
cards.
guy had a huge booth. So I would say he probably had 6 or 7 chairs that you could sit in. So people would come and go. I had to wait a little bit and I'd plop down. And the lady would give you a binder. I'd go through it, I got my checklist on my phone. I'd pull out the card and she would total it up. And it was
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. I used to do that back in the day.
Spent 3
Go
hours.
to a card shop and they would have all the singles.
So, I mean, this one here,
sit there.
I have here, the corners are nice, no creases. A Hoyt Wilhelm was $1.50. So they were marked, each sleeve was marked. So
Yeah,
it's very easy to. I'm sorry. Here.
That's a meal deal right there, man.
So
Do you have the
they're
whole
all
stack
like
there? Show the whole stack.
Yeah,
He got a ton of cards.
share some cards.
So I got Whitey Ford. I just got the tops here. I paid $8 for. God, I probably overpaid here. It's a Don Drysdale.
Donnie.
Another package had Bob Lemon. So anyway, bought a ton of these. And I was telling John I'm leaving, going, how am I going to, I didn't buy any top loaders and this, that. So I went back in and got top loaders, but I packaged it really nice in my backpack, and they're going in the binders. So I have a bunch of top loaders that I'm probably not even going to use for a while, but I was a little scared to keep them in good shape. So anyway,
Right.
Fun deal. Go back, it's always fun to, I don't know, binders. You get kind of jaded or whatever, and you get picking up these expensive cards or graded cards, and it's just fun to fill a binder.
Sometimes I love to get the lower graded cards. It's just so much fun. You can get them for nothing because it's all about the grade and the money you can make. So that you can't move the lower grade ones. That's why I love to collect the Venezuela cards and the Z nuts, because you just you're not gonna find those in top grade. So it's like going back to when you were a kid and not concerned about looking at your cards under a loop and if they're gonna get a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, and I didn't have a loop or anything. I just looked at them, no creases. It might be off center a little bit, but I wasn't, and there were some that were, maybe $40. He might have like 4 different ones, maybe 40, 20, 10, and $5 type thing. And I would usually look, and if the $5 and $10 ones were in decent shape, I just pull that one. I'm not gonna, I've spent a lot of money on a $40 card. So anyway, that's weird.
Was there any YouTubers that you haven't met before that you were surprised or happy to meet?
And he starstruck.
Everyone came up to
Absolutely.
John. Everyone
Far
came,
too many to name.
they didn't even know me. I was just like a handler.
Like, aren't you the president? How many autographs you signed,
Who's
bro?
this guy? Is this your bodyguard?
I had a number. I mean, it started at my airport, and then as soon as I arrived, people on both, like there were 3 booths. I was in the middle, and the 2 guys on the other side were showing me cards and talking to me. Yeah,
Look at
it was
Orlando.
fun. It was fun.
Orlando looking good, my friend. Looking good.
Yes.
Thank you, man. I figured
Orlando.
I got in late. I figured I'd just at least show up a few minutes here. I don't know how long you guys got to be on, but
We're going to be on a while. Don't you worry about it.
I got to come on with the misfits. I put on there, I want to be misfit. So, but it felt like a misfit being over there with Rick and John and George and James and everybody else there. Just Lou, you got to go to Strongsville, my friend. We got to get you there.
Lou,
Breaking
you wanna
news.
break the news?
Breaking news. I don't
Breaking
know.
news. Where's
I didn't want to. I didn't know.
Where's the sounder?
Orlando, I hope I didn't hurt you when I first saw you, because I just I felt the need to give you a big hug.
Yeah, no, you gave me a good hug. I really needed that hug, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was so good to have you around, man. After a few months earlier, such a sad, video where, you were saying you don't know if you'll make it and stuff like that. So to have you around was so great.
Thanks, James. I'm a guy that I've been healthy all my life. I've never been to the hospital and had any type of operation and stuff. And then all of a sudden, they tell me, hey, we got to remove a part of your lung. And I'm going, what? And then it was like, it's a delicate operation, we got to be careful with because it's so close to the heart and the aorta and the lung and the blood and all that. And you know how the doctors are. They scare you and they tell you all the possible side effects and stuff that's going to happen. So, you freak out. But, I'm a healthy guy. So everything went pretty smooth at that end. That was a good thing, Unfortunately, they didn't get all the cancer, but we'll be good. Going to chemo tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Orlando was the first person I text when I got there at probably 10 a.m.
I was trying to make the lunch.
First
But
person.
I got there just a little late.
Jason, Everyday Collector, was a chauffeur. And that guy, I teased him. I said, you're going for these budget cards, $5, $10. He drives up in a Range Rover.
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
It was great. He picked me and Sammy up, and we were hoping to get John. John was a little delayed there, unfortunately, but Rick and I were hanging out at the lobby there with Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, I told him the little story.
Thing.
Yeah, I am like so disappointed I couldn't be a part of that, man.
I'm not disappointed. If you were going to tell him Barry Sanders was better than him, I wouldn't have wanted to be around that.
How dare you tell him that? No.
I didn't believe Rick. I said, Rick, send me a picture. You're hanging with Emmitt Smith. I don't believe you. And then Rick texts me a picture, and it's like, it's Orlando's just like this, and Emmitt Smith's right behind Orlando. And I'm like the real OG is Orlando right there, man.
He's like right behind me. I could have just reached up and tapped him in the back there, but
I didn't want to bother his female friend, Skip Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, he was hanging around with this Sydney Sweeney lookalike.
Well, in all fairness, I think she had about 30 years on Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I guess so. But us old guys,
Yeah.
Rick, you can't get over that, can you?
Not at all.
Can't forget.
Hey, look at what we've looked at for the last 4 days. Overweight, like me, overweight guys.
Pictures of dudes.
Like dudes on sports cards, What is
well, the modern hobby, man, is funny, because there's all these like scantily dressed young, pretty girls, and you would have never seen that 5 or 10 years ago. Like you just see one woman. Now they're everywhere.
It's like a car
promoting
show.
Promoting products and brakes and stuff.
Yeah, they were all in the breakers area when I was doing a little video. They were all there. Which is smart. Because the first thing you're going to look at, you're not going to look at this guy, overweight guy. You're going to go, hey, what's she got over there?
Well, it's just like a car show, like those competitions. They always have the pretty girls right next to the Corvette, the Chevelle, the Trans Am.
Yeah, except they're like actually doing like nude breaks now. Did you hear that?
Yeah, right.
That's not a joke.
That's the future of breaking now.
Hey, someone's gonna get OnlyFans. They're gonna get OnlyFans cracking cases topless.
Yeah, it's like a Hot Rod magazine, but she's laying on top of a Griffey car.
Hey, did you guys? I said in my video, I thought the corporate was at least 40%. Corporate and breakers.
Yeah, even Walmart.
Roughly.
Even Walmart was there.
Years past, even in Atlantic City, they had an area back there, but they didn't take up a quarter of it, and then another room, almost the whole room. And the breaker, I mean, it was pretty big what I walked through, and it was kind of disappointing. Just I don't know. It was just a lot more corporate this year than
Yeah, you know what I noticed about like the West Coast Card Show in Anaheim is coming up, and it's going to be like 1,100 tables. And I looked at the layout today to see where we're at, and they have like the whole section is sports, and then another room, or another area, they got Pokemon, right? And then all the corporate booths are all around the edges of the facility. Now, admittedly, this is only like 1,100 tables. This isn't 2,000 like the National. But it seemed like they put the corporate booths, like separated the actual dealers. Like almost like you have to walk through a corporate booth to get to a new section of dealers. You know what I mean?
1,100 tables is still big, man.
You mentioned Pokemon, and I never thought about it till just now when you mentioned it. But I did not see a lot of Pokemon cards.
No,
I'm sure they were there, but like when I went to a card show in Columbia, South Carolina, not so long ago, and there were tons of them everywhere. But now that you mentioned that, I don't remember.
I saw
really seeing it.
Agreed. I saw far fewer Pokemon dealers than I'm accustomed to seeing.
Yeah,
Was that
Like
just the
far fewer.
organizers? Was that just the organizers? You know, people who are trying to get a table.
I
they
think
asked
so.
them?
I think so because you would see somebody would have a bunch of vintage,
Mhm.
and then they're saying they own this. They had this table, and case would be vintage, one would be Pokemon. You know, so I think that's the way they got through with, because I don't think they were kind of didn't really want. I heard that they really didn't.
Well,
want
it is
Pokemon.
the sports collectors
Yeah.
convention. Maybe they'll have a gaming convention separate someday.
Well, this is what they're doing with the West Coast Card Show now. They do it in Ontario in February, and they're doing it sports only, no Pokemon. So they're having a Pokemon only show in May. So like this is again the biggest show in the Western United States is actually differentiating now between sports and Pokemon.
nice.
That's cool. Get
Well,
the right
maybe
vibe.
I didn't get a chance to spend too much time upstairs because a lot of the new dealers supposedly were upstairs and it was kind of tight. But there may have been a lot of Pokemon upstairs. But it was too crazy up there. I didn't get a chance.
I didn't see too much up there. It was very tight quarters up there.
Yeah.
I know Jeremy from CIA was up there and some other people I knew. It was really weird though, because they had like it was a big room and they only had these dealers in like 1/4 of the room. They didn't cordon it off. So you could see in the distance all the space that they had that they were not using. Meanwhile, the dealers that had tables were cramped in to this small area. Yeah, Mitch right there, White Sox card collector. It was a nightmare. I mean, when you walked down a row, you were committed to walking down that road to the very end. There was no break in the row. There were some good dealers up there. I almost did a couple deals on Thursday up there, Thursday morning. I just feel bad for those guys up there because they were working hard. They were trying to get into the National, and they stuck them up there. You know, I just didn't think it was very fair.
Why couldn't
I heard they made a lot of money up there because it was so tight, the aisles, that it was just enough room for like 1 or 2 people wide. And then the line to, the flow was so stagnant because if you're going to go look at a card and maybe broker a deal, then that means it's a roadblock. So then the people standing there waiting for you to move, well, they're just looking at the cases. And then next thing you know, maybe something they missed, now they didn't miss it. And then they're brokering deals on things that otherwise they probably would have just.
There were good cards up there. I mean, I was trying to work a deal on a 53 Mays and a 4.5. The same dealer had a Worldwide Gum Ruth. I mean, that's a tough card,
Mm-hmm.
So these guys, they were up there. They had good cards.
I heard they did well over there. And then the Pokemon, I didn't see much, but there was one dealer that was right next to the bathroom that had Pokemon, and I guess coincidentally they put them next to the bathroom. I don't know what that was about.
Well,
that was the hit upstairs? Was that bathroom? I hear.
I think what they did upstairs is that they only rented a certain amount of square footage, I was told. So they had to limit it to that square footage. If they would have rented more and paid a little more money, then they could have expanded a little bit more. But I just think they miscalculated exactly the amount of room they needed for the 70-odd dealers I think they had up there.
Couldn't they just get on the phone and, hey, we'll pay another $100?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not like somebody else is using it.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have though cordoned it off or done something so you couldn't see in the distance. Like mean, we all know it's a bigger room, but just to go up there and see that you're wasting 75% or more of this room kind of made me sick to my stomach, because there's a lot of people I know that want to get in there and would like to get tables. Like, why are you, it's like the Alamo Dome when the Spurs used to play there. They would put a sheet down on half of it. You know what I mean? So we know it's there, but like, make us think it's not there.
Well, and Andrew asked, what about Detroit in a few more years? How do you feel about the National being there? Any thoughts? Orlando?
I don't know. Detroit doesn't seem like a very safe place to me. I know it's kind of it's kind of like Atlantic City, I've heard, as far as the, just there used to be 1.8 million people living in Detroit, and they say about 1 million people have moved out in the last 5 years because the crime is pretty bad. So I don't know how it's going to be with the hotels there, and because Atlantic City was scary walking from the hotel, into the convention center. So
tell me about it. I walked for like a half an hour.
Yeah, Rick, order some more pizzas, Rick. Great, thanks a lot.
Or even the McDonald's, when we walk by in the morning, McDonald's, they have armed guards inside the McDonald's.
We were fine. We stayed as a group. We were good.
Yeah, I mean, I like to walk, but it was kind of scary in Atlantic City. So I hope Detroit is not that bad. And we're going to have to try to find.
Let me tell you guys
close.
the last time I was in Detroit. So I get called. I have a group of guys I work with. They're up there, so they need additional help. So they asked me to go up and join them. So I drive from Pittsburgh up to Detroit. I get to the hotel room, and there's a bullet hole next to the door I'm about to walk in at this motel. The night before I got there, the ATF had come and had a shootout and shot a guy dead on the upper level, and put bullet holes in our room and in a guy that I worked with, his truck. And they confiscated it as evidence, his truck. And I'm like, what's going on? So I'm standing out there, and this young woman comes up and propositions me. And then I'm like, I turn her away. And then in the room, the phone starts ringing. She starts like telemarketing me. She wants to come over. And it was just like pandemonium. And her Adam's apple made it not so appealing. So that's my last Detroit experience.
So you're saying Airbnb in Detroit?
Boy. That's encouraging, John.
I was thinking making Orlando feel better. Orlando's like, I'm not walking by myself in Detroit.
We got to check out the Airbnb with you guys now.
Heck yeah. Always got a place.
I'll tell you what, though. I already booked my hotel in Chicago. So I'm ready for next year. I tried to book at the Lowe's.
Yeah.
And they said that, no, it's all full, that National has taken over. I said, listen, I'm a regular customer at the Lowe's. I've stayed here every time. Look at, come on, I'm a good guy. I booked it a year in advance almost. Let me book for next year. It's just one room, No. They've taken it over. I tried talking to the manager. They said, no, every room is already booked for the National team, which of course, Golden, PSA, all the guys were Fanatics. All of those guys were staying there. So,
well, Ken Golden, we were talking at the Lowe's. It was me and you and Pepino and James and Rick, and we're all at a round table. It's this, what is this, Friday night? And I'm like, there's Ken Golden. And he walked up, and he was, I just walked by Gary V. Everybody was staying there. I tried to get a room at the Embassy Suites. No luck. Lowe's, no luck. Everything sold out.
Ken Golden was the first person I ran into as soon as I got off the tram, from the airport. I got off the tram at the Lowe's, and he was standing right in front of me. First person I saw.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was trying to look for a room.
So look for some rooms now. I'm telling you.
Where did you get?
I'll tell you, the Cleveland or Chicago will not be the same if you have to go off site and get a Airbnb or something. Because being right there, Rick and I were talking about it earlier. I mean, it's just so amazing to be right there. You can walk to all the parties. You can go back and forth to the convention center. I walk back, take a nap, whatever. It's so convenient.
Yeah, we booked a room at the Hyatt. It's about half a mile, 3/4 miles away. It was close to the restaurant where Ash has had his event, close to the Moretti's there. So
That's
it
the
is within walking distance, but of course, it's not across the street. It's about I don't know, half mile, maybe 3/4 miles from there.
That's discouraging. I looked at the lows, and yeah, that makes sense. Why I couldn't find anything. I'm like, that's weird. Maybe they haven't released the rooms, or
Well, I
I
mean,
stayed about a mile and a half away, and Mike happened to stay at the same place, Baseball Collector. But it was like all we could get. But it was a mile and a half away. It was like a Sonesta, and it was like a sweets place, and it was like it was easy. The Ubers were very easy. I mean, just food for thought. It's not that bad. I mean, James and I were joking today about the fact that they earned a lot of money off me, but it was like $12 a ride each time. $12. It was easy though. It was there in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know the National will go ahead and possibly release some rooms later on. I think sometime in November they'll announce that us regular people can go ahead and book some rooms, but those are going to go fast, and I doubt we're going to have anything decent, especially the Lowe's and some of the hotels right across the street like that.
Yeah, they book a block of rooms, and they have so long to scale it down. They could scale it down like a certain percentage, so that will probably happen. But I don't know. I mean, it was so crowded. So it's not that it was overcrowded or uncomfortable, but I mean, there are just so many people that go. They probably, won't have too many extra rooms, or you'll have to get that window when they release a few.
It seems like they're monitoring you if you go to the bathroom anywhere at the National. I mean, literally.
Yeah, I mean,
they control everything.
They're trying to control everything a little bit too much. I agree. Not having a trade night is ridiculous. I mean, it's not like when we're trading out there or you're buying some cards, you're not taking away from the National or what you're doing at the National.
Yeah. That added to the experience, honestly. I remember still going to my first trade night AC. I was like, this is amazing.
I know, it's quite the spectacle.
Make sure you get the 5-day pass or the VIP pass, because the people that were getting just a daily pass, that line was like a mile and a half, seemed like 2 miles outside the convention center.
VIP,
ridiculous.
Every time we would take the road, like the Uber would go by all these people in line, and she's like, should I drop you off here? I'm like, hell no. It's like
to the door.
Oh, yeah, just going all past these people. I mean, I couldn't believe the lines, especially every day but Sunday. Every day but Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, time is money. I learned that being a Floridian, when you have all these amusement parks and big shows, and if I could pay a little extra for a fast pass, I learned that a long time ago. I'd rather pay a couple extra bucks to be inside an hour early than outside sweating and then miserable by the time you get inside.
Well, I got to get with John and get the media pass, how he did. I
So-
don't know what he did for it, but
Yeah, so I didn't know when I got the media pass, and I didn't need mine. And so Eric, he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, could you buy I hear you have an extra pass. Can I buy it from you?" And I'm like, "You can have it. There's no way I'm selling it to you. You can have it." I'm like, "Let's go get it." And he's like, "Well, there's a 2-hour wait to pick up passes."
What?
And I'm like, "What? 2-hour wait to pick up passes?"
You
So
pick up the VIP?
Yes, there was a line. So I heard a lot of people saying that they wish that the pass could be mailed to them ahead of time, or even if they had to pay a little more. I had never had a problem. I don't think any of you have either. When we would get there Wednesday night, getting our checking in for the VIP. But last year, that Wednesday night was busier than all the other years, and this year, it was maybe busier than Thursday. I mean, it was absolutely hopping.
You need a pass to get the pass.
Yeah. So I got my media pass right away.
I need a VIP. I can't stand in line for this.
So George, this was
and just this real quick, and then you need an ID now.
yeah.
So like, I think it was last year, I got BD Kane's pass because he wasn't going to use it. So I wouldn't have been able to use his. So if somebody gives you the pass, it has to match your name. So I was asking them, well, what do you do if somebody gave, they couldn't come and you bought a pass from somebody? And he said, you have to text them and have them text you a picture of their driver's license when you go to pick it up.
Dang.
This is
But that's
too
just
much.
for the initial, right? Like they just want to match up the ID
To pick up your pass. Yeah.
Okay, after that, you could give it to whoever.
Yeah. So I had to go with Eric because we didn't know I could text him a picture. So we kept trying to coordinate when, where there wasn't a 2-hour line. So I had to physically go with him because I sent him my ticket, I texted to him, which he could have used, but he needed me there. So anyway, that's just for future reference. If you go or you're buying somebody else's pass, you're going to need a text from them with their driver's license to pick it up.
Yeah, once you're in, Lou, you could, because I left on Saturday. So I had a friend of mine, the other Lou from New York. He had a daily pass. So I gave him my pass so he can get in on Saturday and Sunday. So you can just give it to somebody else. But when you go the first time around, you got to show your driver's license.
I'll go with that. I'm gonna be sleeping on someone's hotel floor if hotel floors are that tough.
Hey,
A couple
Orlando.
guys.
Yeah.
Orlando, where was your buddy who walks around with $3 million worth of cards in a lunch bag?
Oh man, he was there. He texted me on Saturday morning, and I left Saturday around noontime, and he said, "I'm going to be there Saturday around 2:00 if you're going to be there." And I told him, "No, I won't be there." He had a family thing to attend, some type of birthday party with his family, but he did show up on Saturday afternoon and also on Sunday, I think.
I didn't see him. I didn't run into him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I worry about him with those cards there, with all these people stealing stuff.
But hiding
Was it a sack lunch?
Yeah, hiding in plain sight is better than a Pelican case. Who's going to take his peanut butter jelly?
He's an older guy just standing. I see him standing on the corner.
Crazy man
With that bag.
In his fanny pack.
Yeah, with his Cracker Jack PSA 8 Ty Cobb.
As funny
he had
those things are.
52 mantle in a 7.
He had at least 3 or 4 mil in his fanny pack.
You know what? As funny as I make fun of people, tourists and this and it, the fanny pack is the best thing. It's always in front, hard to pickpocket. The fanny pack is really pretty secure. If you
I know, but I don't want to offend sports car dad, but I mean it's hard. It's hard to be stylish and wear a fanny pack.
I know even the kids that try to put the fanny pack across their chest. I'm like, nah, bro, you're not Indiana Jones. I said that to
his wife being from Italy. I'm surprised she allows him to wear that. That's the fashion capital of the world.
John, you said in your video this was the best national you ever been to, and is that because it was bigger, there was more, or it was more organized? But what was the reason you said that?
I'll tell you what, I was trying to think about it. I can't pinpoint one thing. What I can say is everything went very smooth for me. I was never in a line. I could use the bathroom anytime I wanted. It was crowded, like it was packed, but nothing was too crowded. I got up and down the aisles, no problem. I could see the cards I wanted to see, no problem. It was just great, having everything. It was better than the first time there. Than my first time there.
The simple things, like James and I were hanging out, if I wanted to go get a beer for us, it's literally took 5 minutes or less. If I wanted to go to the restroom, it was there. It was accessible. It wasn't like Cleveland where I had to run to the basement and think to myself, literally, I might just go outside. Yep. It was so bad. And the air conditioning was nice. I was too cold. It was too cold.
It's crazy. It seems like as much as we complain about like these guys have a stranglehold and they're trying to control everything, every legitimate gripe from the last 2 nationals, AC, lines, it seemed like the only complaint was it's too crowded. You never heard everyone said the Wi-Fi was pretty spot on.
I don't agree with that.
Wi-Fi was a little spotty at certain times.
Not if you wanted to watch a video or something. Eric called me and he was breaking up. Like I had to hang up and meet him because I couldn't. He was texting me because I couldn't even hear him. He kept cutting in and out.
I was ridiculous. I was told that it might be hard to get something to eat, you know, but James and I multiple times walked like underneath the giant parking structure, popped up at that area where they have like live music and a bunch of places, and we easily got in and got some dinner. You know, it was within. I mean, if you're willing to walk at, you know, at most a half mile, quarter mile, it's fine.
And you know the other thing, and you remember 2 years ago when we were there, like we go into the Lowe's, and there were a few of us, and we were just standing around like up against a column. There was absolutely no seating. The place was packed. And this year we could go into the Lowe's, have a drink or a bite, no problem.
Yeah.
We could go in and out. And like you said, I mean, when we got a drink, I only got a drink once, but we got it right away. There was no line. It wasn't like Cleveland, where you couldn't get a drink to save your life. At least I couldn't.
Yeah, it was
even
a mess.
the little,
It was a mess in Cleveland.
Even the little cafeteria they have there was. I ate there once, and it was no line there either. And
and that bar had seats around there where people were eating and drinking. I was shocked. Every time I went by there was a seat.
Yeah,
the only place that was super overpacked was Starbucks. They were lined up around the.
Yeah,
there was a huge line every time I went past.
Yeah, that was the only place because, of course, everybody wants their coffee. But I kept passing by the little fudge place and kept getting samples of the fudge. That was
man, I never got the sample, but I asked her if I could get a sample about this big, and she said no.
John, go big or go home.
It looks so good.
Well, Lou, you were very missed, my friend. We missed you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna 2026 is gonna be different. I'm gonna work has just been bananas. I couldn't get off. Manpower was an issue. It is what it is. But next year, Strongsville is already in the books. That's locked in. We just gotta figure out details on that. But Strongsville is a go. And I was just worried about Chicago getting a spot because if no one wants to do an Airbnb, like I said, I saw a couple groups out there with the Airbnb and they said it wasn't that bad. But if we get a hotel room, I'll crash in someone's bathtub. I'll do something, but I'll do it like in college. I'll roll out my sleeping bag. I'll just go right in the bathtub, sleep in there. But yeah, I'm ready for next year already because I was glad everyone was having a good time. I was living through you guys, but yeah, I missed everybody.
And I got to meet Pepito, man. I hadn't met Caesar. Boy, we had a good time talking and spending some time together. He was just incredible. And Mike Petty, let me tell you, he, the YouTube get together, I'm sure you guys talked about it, the issues with that, but we went to Shoeless Joe after that, and Petty there must have been 30 people there, and Petty just picked up the tab for everybody there. I mean, just what a great guy. And he was helping everybody buy cards. He was looking at everybody's pickups. No matter if it was a $50 card or a $5,000 card, Petty would say, wow, awesome card. I love that. So he was just, it was awesome spending time with him. And I'm glad I didn't spend a little more time with him because he got the flu. I had to be careful not to pick up the flu.
He gave me the flu. I have had the flu. I was in the Chicago airport for 8 hours waiting for my flight. I got the flu. I'm just drinking some wine right now for the first time, trying to get rid of it. I'm sure that's going to work. But Petty was great. He loves the missteps, and he's going to go to Stringsville, and
Stringsville.
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
He loves to. He's going to take a Uber to all the places he's going to go. It's.
I love that guy. He is the best.
You know the best part about the modern hobby? I have to tell you guys.
Tell me.
It's that card collecting is cool now.
Yeah.
I remember somebody saying to me, I can't believe a grown man collects baseball cards. And then he saw the mantle sell for $12.5 million. Then he's sending me articles, and all of a sudden he didn't think it was so geeky anymore. But you can actually, like, if you were a young man, you could actually pick up girls collecting cards. Like, you couldn't do that when we were young. Like, you kind of collected. You didn't go out with a girl and say, hey, I collect baseball cards, man.
Hey, Rick, tell the story of the guy who was asking me questions about our backpacks in the bar at the Lowe's. Remember this?
Yeah, these drunk guys. I mean, literally drunk, right? You could just tell.
Where was I?
The
Rubbing
corner
elbows with
table.
Emmitt.
Probably outside.
No.
But
With Emmitt Smith.
yeah, with Emmitt Smith. So I mean, I kind of walked away kind of quickly because these guys were totally obnoxious and drunk. But go ahead, George, because I just kind of walked away after a minute.
Well, these guys, we were at the bar getting drinks to Lowe's. I think you, John, were in the corner at the table. And Rick and I were at the bar, and these guys who look like banker guys who'd just been on the golf course, like fucking big swinging guys. And this guy's like, what's up with all these backpacks? And I'm like, what do you mean? We're
Hanging on.
George.
There's a
Oh
card collectors-
man, I'm keeping us on the edge of our seats.
there's
Yeah.
a card collectors convention. I'm like, I said, there's a card collectors convention. It's like, what are you doing over there? And he was just like, it was like he basically was like Shooter McGavin. And he was
Oh,
just
no.
walked away, and I entertained him. And I said, "Well, there's these cards, and by the end of the story, he was asking me. He's like, "You got any George Brett cards? I want to buy some. I want to buy some George Bretts. I love George Brett when I was a kid." And I'm like,
Really?
I flipped him. I just didn't have any Bretts with me.
That's
George
an
would
awesome
be
story.
George would be nice though to this. I mean, I would have just,
Yeah, Rick was like, "Arr."
I was ready to go. F off, guys. You guys are. I don't know.
More patient than I would have been.
Yeah, they were obnoxious.
John, I gotta thank you. I've thanked you 20 times, but I told John I'd never been to Gibson's. He takes me to Gibson's, and with Rick and Dan and the rest of the group, and buys me a filet mignon. So thank you again, John. You're the best.
Absolutely, anytime, Orlando. I'm gonna come down to. Well, you need to come up here. You need to
I
come
do
up.
need to come up there. I got to see the
need-
Mangini Museum.
You need to
The-
see the collection. You need to stay over in my
Yeah.
bed and breakfast here, and we'll go to a nice dinner.
No.
Yeah, I've been
Happy
to
hour.
Lou's place, and I've seen the Clemente clubhouse there. And now I need to go to the Mangini Museum.
It's the best airport. There's 2 terminals. Can't get lost.
Oh,
I was like-
best airport.
John, where you at? Wait, I'm outside. Like I had no idea. I took a left and I'm outside already. I'm like,
You
think
want to
about-
hear something funny? I get so I'm getting antsy. I don't want to be late, and every once in a while there's a crowd there. It just depends on the business crowd or whatever at our airport. But normally, like I used to travel every Sunday to Baltimore, and I'm sorry, every Sunday night to Baltimore, and every Friday night back home. So they got to know me there. They barely looked at me going through security. And I would get there sometimes. I'd be the only person in line. One time I got there weren't even any TSA agents. Like they were on a little break. I had to wait for somebody to come back. So they expanded it now. There's like 3 times the parking area, and they did this big expansion because all these people are moving to Charleston, and we're just getting overrun. All kind of new housing going up and everything. So it's bigger now. So I decided, I'm going to get. My wife was out of town, so I took an Uber, and she's going to pick me up. So I get a little antsy. I don't want to be late. I don't want to miss my flight or anything for some stupid reason. I was trying to get there to have lunch with you, Orlando. So I go just a tad bit early. The Uber picked me up around 9-ish, probably just a little after 9 o'clock in the morning. I was through security and at my gate at 9:28, and I live 15 minutes away from the airport. That's how fast I got through that airport. Like there was nobody in two people in front of me.
Hey, Petty's in this chatting here. He needs to get out and tell the Eric Four-Leaf story, looking for his for the the Aaron rookie card.
he had me rolling in that video.
Oh my god!
It's like for a big guy, he moves a
Get
lot.
on. Get on.
It's like he moves pretty quick for a big guy.
We were trying to keep up with him, man. He was going so fast, and it was the funniest thing, man. He's like one track mind. He's going, and he had no idea where this table was. He saw it earlier or something. And we're going like this and around.
Somebody
like this.
texted him a
Well,
picture of this card and told him about the table. And here's the funny part. So Well, the funny part's coming up. So he fell in love with this card. It was the right price. It was the one he loved. You know, he fell in love with it. So he went running for it, and it had sold just before he got there. So then he took us all over the place trying to find another one like it. And of course, he had fallen in love with that one, so no other one was going to, you know, meet his expectations. Really, it's like, you know, if you're in love with a woman and it doesn't work out, and you're trying to replace her with 4 other women that are substandard, it's just never going to be the same, right? So that's where he was. So we go up to trade night, and guess what? The dude who bought the card was up there flipping it.
Oh man!
So now he was trying to kind of deal with him, but now he had to pay a lot more.
That sucks.
Well,
So
James and I talked about this. I've never had so many people come up at a show and ask for a Hank Aaron rookie card. There was a kid who tried to sell us 3 of them before the show began, and they weren't great copies, and we chose to pass. But boy, never seen so many people, not just E, but like other guys, like looking for Hank Aaron rookies. They must have had about at least a dozen to, you know, two dozen people ask me, Hank Aaron rookie card, Hank Aaron rookie card, James Grabsley, Hank Aaron rookie card. No.
Yeah, I spent some time with John Wade Boggs fan, and that was the big card he was looking for. And he had an incredible, you know, he drove me to
He got a
Ash's.
nice one.
Yeah, he drove me to Ash's dinner, and you know, he was talking about being with Wade Boggs the following day. That was awesome.
That was cool.
John got a beautiful Hank Aaron. That card's gotten even more popular than it used to be, and I hear a lot of people say that's their favorite card in the whole hobby.
If you want to consider yourself a vintage card collector, you should probably have a card of the Home Run King.
Yep.
Yeah. George, you passed on a card that you have a little bit, you know, remorse on. What would the 39 play ball?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was funny. So the first day of the show, I wander over to Clean Sweep, and they've got this beautiful Ted Williams rookie and a PSA 2 that's dead on. But they want way too much money, and they're like, we'll take 10% off. And I'm like, 10% doesn't even get us to where we need to go, which is 40% off. But anyway, it's a beautiful card. And I told John and Rick about it at the Lowe's that night. I said, you know, this card, I need to get this card, or you guys do. And Rick was looking for, I think, a Ted Williams rookie. I don't know if you were, John. But anyway, so I was just, it was funny because what ended up happening was I didn't buy the card. It showed up. Mike Petty, let's go back. Mike Petty bought a 39 play ball Joe DiMaggio and SGC2 from me maybe on Friday, right? So Friday night, I'm at Ash's dinner with James, and Petty's there showing off these twins. He's got the Ted Williams rookie in a 2, and he's got the Joe DiMaggio in a 2. And I'm like, wait a minute. And he has the Joe DiMaggio from Clean Sweep that he bought from Ash, who had bought it from Clean Sweep. And I'm like, my God, this is just an incestuous world.
It's the hot potato era.
Yeah.
And I would have
constantly
just
moving
kept that Joe DiMaggio and just thrown it in the safe.
until they come into like Petty's collection or my collection. Then they stay there forever.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess that's the whole point is it found its way into a collector's collection. It's going to hold on to it for a long time. I would have too, but I mean, I think maybe Ash had more leverage with Clean Sweep than I would have had. But it was literally the nicest 2. Scotty Tradition has a really nice 2. And I met Scott for the first time at the show, and he was great. But like one of these centered 2s you just don't see very often in 39 play ball. So
yeah,
Penny is stuck with it. He's stuck with it.
I need to get one at some point. I'm watching the card now, George. It was, you know, they were asking $3,500 for it. It's a card I want, and but I have the national coming up and everything, so I was watching it, and it disappeared, and I was like, damn it, I missed my opportunity. You know, I was going to see what I did at the national, maybe right afterwards, pick it up. 2 weeks later, back up for $4,500. Like I see this constantly. Yeah. People would just, if they think it's undervalued, they'll just buy it
I know, but like this
Put
is
it right back up
special
there.
card. This card that Petty bought, like the DiMaggio he bought off me was really really nice too. I mean, there's no doubt.
Oh yeah, that has nothing to do with your story.
But man, that some cards though you pay up for, and you just accept the fact that like you're not going to find a nicer one because like you do really good cards, and I would just encourage people to do that. It sounds bad, but I mean, one time before the Long Beach show, I passed on a shoeless Joe Jackson strip card that was in an SGC 3, the yellow one. I don't know what W whatever, and it went for auction went for $2,250. I wasn't gonna go a penny over 2,200, and this shoeless Joe, I missed it. I'm like, I'll just look for a Jackie at the show. And fast forward 4 years, that shoeless Joe is probably 15 to 18 bills. I mean, you gotta get it, and you like when Orlando got his Satchel Paige Retirado, you gotta go get it. And
well, in the modern hobby, you're 100% right. It's like if you don't get it now, if you don't pay up to get it, you may not be able to get it. It's like the housing boom. You go look at a house and you want to think about it for a day, you call back, it's gone. That's how the card market is, at least for now. Unless things turn around, some of these cards have just gotten really where I'm not going to get them anymore. Lots of us are just not going to get one. So I actually hope it turns around a little bit.
There were some deals to be had. At the beginning, I heard everybody say, "Oh, the price is so high." But if you really looked around, there were some good deals, and the dealers were willing to work with you. At least most of them,
I agree. There were some people, they had like these ridiculous. What I found is the same thing that I find when I'm shopping on eBay or at card shows. The biggest cards they tag ridiculous prices on. Those big 100 cards or 200 cards, and all the other stuff they're willing to deal, and it's cheap. I mean, I got some deals off of you, James.
He's my favorite table go to.
That Walter Johnson you sold me, I've never seen it for that price. Not in the last 5 years or so.
There's my Jackie Retirado that George was talking about.
That's sick, dude.
Nice.
Oh man, I had to get it. I saw it. I walked away for a little bit, and I said, "No, I got to come back to it." And I ended up picking it up, and thank God it was still there.
I'm sleeping on the wheel there, Orlando.
Sleeping on the wheel. It's a beautiful 1.5, nice sharp corners. It's just missing a little bit of paper loss here, but the paper loss is not in the middle, so you can read the whole part of it. So, but a beautiful 1.5. I'm so glad I picked it up. And like George said, these are the cards that if you don't pick them up now, I do feel that they're going to go up in price, and that's one of those that is going to stay in my collection.
Yeah. That card.
Yeah, well, we've been burned so by so many we didn't get that went way up, and the ones there were several I had to pay a lot to get because I wanted them, and you either got to pay it or you may never have one.
Yeah, and I took some. One of the things I like about going to the National and Strongsville is that you can sell and do deals with the dealers. So I did a cash trade deal for that card. So mostly cash, but I also traded some cards in there. So it's always good, and that way, especially if you've had cards for a long time that you bought cheap, you can go ahead and really make a little bit of money there. And still pick up a great card, because all the cards that I got were because I sold cards. And James wasn't happy with me because he's like, "You got to give me a crack at those cards you're selling." But James, I'll call you next time, my friend.
So James,
collection. James told me you got a big collection with a 51 Bowman mantle and stuff. I'm going, man, James spending a lot of money. But
I spent way more than I wanted to, but I just couldn't say no to some of these cards. I mean, it was a lot more than I expected. People bringing me up nice stuff,
Yeah. Listen, I got to give a big shout out to Keith. Lonely Basement
here.
When you see it, in his videos, that's it. Lonely Basement. He is the funniest guy. I couldn't stop laughing just talking to him. Yeah. What a great personality this guy's got. What a funny guy, and he's he's just a big asset to the hobby.
Yeah, he's a Yankee fan, of course.
Yeah,
Of
he's
course
a
he's a big
Yankee
guy.
fan too.
Hey,
Yeah, look at Rick.
Hey,
I
James,
think
before we get to
Rick is trying to point out that oddball cards are where this is all going.
That's right. Oddball Nation. Oddball Nation.
Oddball Nation.
What's up, John?
before we get too far along, you had just put up a comment. That's Don Hamlin. He got back into the hobby a while back, and he started following me. And we've been commenting back and forth for years. And so 2 of the cards I bought from you, you had bought from him.
Yes.
So it's really cool that 2 of his cards ended up in my collection.
Yes. And you told me, what do you got? I got a few dollars left, and I started looking for the more obscure stuff that I thought might float your boat. And sure enough, you liked all the ones I showed you. So it was meant for you, man.
That must be why he watches my channel. We have the same taste, because I got the Sport Thrills and I got the Drakes, 1950 Drakes.
Yes.
You gonna crack it? You gonna crack it so you can smell it?
Well, that's what I said on my video. I want to.
This is the same thing I had with Hitman 23, Mike. Mike, I had a 71 Clemente in the case. I had a 7.5 SGC, and I had a 7, and he wanted the 7. And I said to him, "That's Don's card. It was the last remaining card from Don Field of Dreams group of cards he sold me." And then he came back. He's like, I came back, and I couldn't stop thinking about that card last night, man. I'm buying that card. I said, okay. And so he bought Don's 71 Clemente, which is very cool that it went to Hitman, because, it was a special card to Don, too. So along those lines.
That's like, Rick, you remember we were walking past a table, and there was a Babe Ruth, and you go, "That's Jay Stottlemyre's Babe Ruth." Remember? Yeah. The guy had bought it from him. And Rick recognized it. I don't know how.
And dude, by the way, Jay Stottlemyre is one of the great collectors in the hobby. I mean, this guy's awesome. And I want to give him a shout out, because I know his channel has like 450 subscribers, but every time that guy does a video, he's doing a Jackie run right now. It's super fire. Like, he just showed off his Topps Jackie run, 52 Jackie 5.5. I mean, the guy shows fire, and he's a great dude.
Yeah, great guy.
He's a thoughtful guy. He's texted me a few times already, and just awesome guy.
Yeah, love that guy.
I was surprised that Rick didn't buy any big cards. Rick was with Pepino looking through, the binders.
Yeah, binders.
I couldn't believe he didn't pick anything up, and he got those the last day.
Wait,
I swear everyone came up with, because last year, the year before that, I'm the one picking up these big cards.
Yeah, you usually go hog wild.
I didn't pick up anything, and everyone was kind of bummed. I didn't have anything to show them. I said, I just don't have any cards. But then I read these REA and Love of the Game, and I'm going, well, these cards I want. I'm not going to force it. I'm going to try to bid on these other cards that are.
Rick, do you have this card right here?
You know what? I don't. We sell it. How much?
You want to sell it?
It's a coupon. It's a coupon.
Oh, you got the coupon one.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Do you have that?
I don't.
Then
show the back, George.
I love the back.
Mild and sweet, baby. Mild and sweet as they want to be.
They are thinner. There's not much stock to those things. And I went to Christy Mathewson, and John knew someone that had a ton of them that he got graded, but he wanted too much for him. So
I want the Christy Mathewson too.
Tony Trade had two or three coupon Cobbs.
Yeah, but he's pretty overpriced. I mean, you have to kind of.
They were nice though.
Yeah.
Again,
that's a sweet card, George. Where did you get that one from?
I got this on eBay a while ago, like a couple of years ago, when nobody cared. You gotta buy the shit when nobody cares about it.
No one cared.
Yeah.
Things.
Rick, I gotta ask though. There was no Babe Ruth cards that like piqued your interest.
No,
none whatsoever.
I wanted the W502. I didn't see one Ruth W502 card. No, not really. There was the Honey Boy was way too expensive for me. He wanted $15K, maybe worth 13. I didn't have that kind of cash on me.
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
Come on, Rick, live a little.
Hey, I'm not going to say the name, but I had a YouTuber that offered to let me borrow the money. So that's what this I mean, this is what the hobby's about. I mean, this guy
Yeah.
was willing to fork over $9K to help
Nice
me.
little loan. What was the interest on that loan?
Yeah. And he didn't even blink. John knows he didn't even blink. So
Yeah, it wasn't me. He wasn't charging me.
yeah.
I would have charged Rick interest.
But no, there was nothing that. I mean,
I got to tell you.
His name rhymed with Yeti.
No,
Maybe.
it wasn't him.
I got to tell you, some of the collectors there had some of the primo cards of the whole show. I mean, that guy, Ben, that had the Bryce Williams, Christy Mathewson rookie. I mean, come on, you never see that card. The guy just pulls it out and says, "Check this out." And then the other guy that had the Peck and Snyder, the first baseball card. I mean, God.
What a treat that was.
That was a treat just to hold that card, just to see those cards and hold them. You just never see them at the show or anywhere,
Yeah, he came and introduced himself, and we were outside talking, and he was telling me he had his eye on that and this and that. So I'm with Pepino and Rick down there the night you went live, Lou. And so I went up to the room. I forget what I needed, what I had to do, but I went up to the room. I got on the elevator to go to the room, and I run into him, and he's like, "I got that card," and I'm like, "You have it with you?" And he's like, "No, it's in the room." I'm like, "You need to bring it down. Would you please bring it down?" And he's like, "Yep, I'll be right down." So I came back down, and I told Pepino and Rick, I said, "I got a treat for you." And when we went live, Lou, that's what you weren't understanding, because that thing was on its way, and Pepino was telling you that it was the oldest baseball card, and you weren't understanding what we were saying. So that was a real treat just to see it in person and hold it.
Yeah.
That one.
I was hanging out at Phil Gary's table, and John had bought a couple cards from Phil, and then he kind of took off, and all of a sudden this guy comes around and said, "Oh, Orlando, I wanted to show this to you." I said, "I know you showed it to Mangini," and he said, "You got to see this," and he pulls it out, and I'm like, "Wow, the Peck and Snyder." I'd never held that card in my hands ever.
Nice.
Yeah, that card has what's his name, Harry Wright.
Both the Wright brothers, yeah, Harry
one
and
of the
George
really
Wright.
early good baseball players.
Wait. The Wright brothers, not the Wright brothers from Flight. The Wright
Not the
brothers.
Flight,
No.
but it was George and Harry
somebody
Wright.
I know has a Wright autograph, correct? James.
No,
Well, what James has is the
it was a
lineup card, and on the bottom it had I think his initials.
It had his initials, but that went to Darren's dad, Steve, who loved that item so much because it had a Glasscock in the lineup and Dunlap. And he loved that piece of history. He loved how early it was. And it was all right. So Ash's dinner. So I'm showing off a lot of the pickups I had. And when he saw that one, he was like, "Are you selling this?" And I was like, "Well, I wasn't thinking to, but there's a chance I might have to liquidate some of these because I don't think I should keep them all. It's kind of like fiscally irresponsible." He was like, "Well, if you sell this one, don't sell it to anyone else. I really want this one." And then after talking with him and everything, and I was like, "Man, this thing belongs with you. I'll sell it to you. I just want to dissect what I think the proper price for this is, and I'll sell it to you a little under that." And he came looking for me like early in the morning. He was like, "So did you decide? Are you gonna sell it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let you have it." So he was like really excited. He stared at it for like 30 minutes, explaining, looking up the lineup, trying to pinpoint what year it's from, when Dunlap and Glasscock played together. So he was enthralled by that piece, and it went to No Better Collector. I was happy that he picked it up.
I just realized I was talking to Lou, and he's not even here.
Yeah,
He
That's
was
normal.
He
That's
was down in
normal.
my lower right, and now George is there. I thought George left.
yeah,
I can get off.
I'm on my phone. I can't see that well.
That's
yeah.
I got a
That's
question
funny. I'm
for
talking
George.
to Lou.
I
Nobody.
got a
You
question
guys could have
for
told
George.
me.
So George, I don't know if you remember this on Friday. I did a video. I'm going by your booth and I'm teaching you have a beer in your hand and you're making a deal with this guy. Do you remember that? Did the guy actually buy a card from you?
Which I don't remember the deal.
Yeah, so I kind of turned away because I didn't want to interrupt him or you doing it. And everyone was asking me, did George actually make that deal? So
what was the subject of the deal? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was Friday. You had a beer in your hand. Hey, George, you got a beer in your hand? And,
I mean, typically, yeah. Most of the time when people engage and they're interested in cards, we tend to come to a deal, and I tell them, the truth is, this is not a museum. I'm not here to not sell cards, right? I'm trying to move stuff, and some cards I keep for my own collection, and I've got some stuff here, but I don't. If it's out there for sale, we're moving it, and we're gonna all move on. I'm trying to make somebody happy. Most importantly, really, I think James and I both try to sell to collectors first, and other dealers, it's fine, but we really want to sell to collectors, and we really want to get their business and give them something that they really are going to enjoy. A lot of cool cards here. When you can get like example, when you can get this card in the hands of a collector. Blow me up real quick, James.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, this
you
isn't
can get it into my hands, George.
If you can get this Hornsby, if you can get this Mathewson, into the hands of the right person, this Ruth,
Look at George throwing out fire here.
No, but I mean, like it's about like
that's a beautiful.
It could be a Reggie in an 8.5. It's like this is a great Reggie card, right? Just trying to find the right person, because I love these cards just as well. I have my own collection and get this Willie in the hands of somebody. But you're just trying to get them in the hands of people who appreciate them. And maybe, we come to a agreement that is beneficial to us both. And I don't really, I don't rake people over the coals. Neither does James. This sounds like a stupid advertisement, but I'm just saying, truly, I'm just trying to move cards and have fun. It's a lot of fun. It's all a lot of fun for all of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
James,
you got a nice
pick up some cards for your collection that you're holding on to.
Who, me? What's that?
James, did you guys either buy anything for your personal collection that you're keeping?
This I
blow
put out.
yourself up, James.
This I put out, but I did not want to sell this Babe Ruth autograph for nothing whatsoever. It was my first Babe Ruth auto, and I was like, I am not selling this whatsoever. But it came a point where I spent so much money on cards and people's bringing me stuff up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I spent more money than I took in. It's not making any sense to set up right now. I'm gonna have to put a price tag on it, and if it sells, it sells. So it was torture. I put a few price tags on things I did not want to sell, but I had to live with myself. Why am I going to a show to make a little bit of a living out of it, and I'm buying more than I take in? It's ridiculous. But yeah,
and I had to listen to all this.
I was dying, man. I was dying. Mike, I was happy Mike picked up that Hornsby because, like you were saying, when you marry a collector with some of your stuff, that's the best feeling because they're not going to flip it. So Mike picked up my Hornsby. And when John was there, I was like, John, I got that Paul Wainer you wanted. I didn't want anyone else to buy that card. I wanted John to have that card so badly.
Sitting right beside me.
Let's look at that Paul Waiter.
Yeah,
nice.
There you go. I'm so happy you have that one.
Along these lines of Big Poison, Little Poison. Great card, John.
Highest batting average in Pirate history.
I had Mitch come up, and Mitch was had been contacting me about these Diamond Stars I had, and he had been on me about it, but in a very pleasant way, and we had talked about it, and he came up and he bought these fresh Diamond Stars, Cochran and Lazeri and Dickey and Lloyd Wainer. But yeah, it's nice to get these cards into people's hands that care about him. He shows me his wall of Diamond Stars that he has, and I'm like, man, this is great. You know, when we met, you know, he paid me market and I gave him these cards. These cards are beautiful in my opinion. And I think he would say the same thing. But boy, it's like, it's nice to like have this what they call a Pareto superior exchange, right? This like meeting the minds. Everybody's happy at the end of it, right? Everybody's excited. And that's what you want. You know, I want people to be happy with the cards they're getting. And thankfully they are.
You're turning into Whatnot.
No, fuck Whatnot.
Every time
John.
I go on YouTube, I see Whatnot ads.
No.
Hey George, so seriously, keep an eye out. Man, somebody had this pie trainer at the National, and God, I fell in love with it. I'm like, I need this card. So it's the one with the ornate around it. So it's either the Nielsen's chocolate, I think American
Caramel.
American caramel, or there's
Yeah.
a hand cut version at W something. I forget
Yeah.
the number off the top of my head. There's like at least 3 different versions of that card. Pie trainer, if you come across one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
The American
like-
Caramel
or
is the
James, or
toughest
James.
version.
You never know. I mean, it's just crazy, like what you come across. And James can, you
Oh,
know,
I fell in love with
a guy
that
came
card.
up and he was selling us stuff, and he's like, "Here, take this." And he's
Oh,
one
I
of
love that
Lee
card.
Ruth. And I mean, it's like, you know, I'm not going to say no to this. You know, is it a high grade 3? I don't know, but it's beautiful. It's Mathewson. What am I going to do? And James bought some other stuff too. We're not going to say no to this. This is great
Dude.
stuff.
I
No,
traded
if you're
a Sandy Koufax rookie card. I had, I think, $1,700 on it. It was perfectly centered, very beautiful eye appeal. The guy fell in love with it. He was like, "Oh my God, that card is right in my wheelhouse. But would you take a trade for it?" And I'm like, "Well, it kind of depends what you have." So he pulls this out, and he goes into explaining how it's a pop 2, none higher. And it's Joe DiMaggio, as if as a Yankees fan, do you really have to like
Yeah.
talk me into this? And then he's saying there's only, this is it, this one and another one, none higher. And I'm like, so what do you want to do? He was like, trade straight up. Do you? I really want that card. And I
All
was like,
day, all day long.
Is that a Gaudy white pen?
yes, Gaudy wide pen. And I was so ecstatic to trade for this one too.
Oh, beautiful.
And there's the type of stuff that comes up to your table sometimes. Yeah,
James
you're like-
told me that story, and I felt like Sanford and Son. I'm like, it's coming. It's coming, Weezy. Coming. I'm coming.
You know, James
It's
can't
great.
turn down Yankees like that.
There's
Okay,
another.
I figured it out, Orlando and John. We're going to set up at the National next year. We're going to put our cards way too high, and we're just going to buy cards for people coming up to the table. That's what to do, right? You
Yeah.
sit there, and they give you a great deal, or you offer them whatever. These guys are picking up Grail cards dirt cheap, and we need to do that. Just put out a display of nice cards and buy cards. Is that what you do?
That if you put up your cards and you put up that 1927 American Caramel Ruth, I'm buying it from you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it like 30K.
Oh,
But
shit.
everything that I, no, if they buy it, they buy it. But I don't plan on selling. But I'm gonna pick up cards like these guys are picking up.
Yeah.
Like
That's
when
the way
we
to
first
do it.
Got on. James is telling me a story on a dandy mantle. It's crazy for the prices. he's
Well,
getting.
let me, Orlando. Let me tell you something. Like, so I don't buy that many cards for my personal collection anymore. But like, this is a card I came across at a front row show from the promoter Dan. Just blow that up real quick.
Oh, what a beautiful
Okay, so
tacky.
it's a great card, but like, if you were to guess the grade of this card, I'm not showing the grade, but like, you'd probably guess somewhere around a 5, right?
Yeah.
But it's a 2.5.
Wow.
And so this card I just buy and throw in the safe.
Hey, that's my wheelhouse, man. I love great looking lower grades.
Yeah, and that red.
I went
on
up
that
to
really
Tony
pops.
Trade and I was introducing myself, and he didn't know me to look at me, so I didn't think he knew me. So I introduced myself and I'm telling him my name, and he's like, "Oh, the Mangini collection," He's like, you got good taste. You buy all my nice lower graded stuff.
Yeah, just I mean, if you're interested in something, let me know. His shop is here in Phoenix.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Yeah,
why did
I'll
it
tell you, I
to-
bought a lot of cards from him over the years. He has, he has good stuff, fair prices, not necessarily low prices, but the stuff I've bought from him, you can't just find every day. So,
Well, Sammy bought his Christy Mathewson orange from him.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I was. Sammy came to my table and he kept. By the way, Andrew is asking why did that Jackie get a 2.5? It has a little baby wrinkle on it. The PSA's out of their minds. So anyway, I'll let them be out of their minds and I'll move on. But yeah, that Christy Mathewson that Sammy bought, he was asking me about it and we were going through it and he was showing me the pictures and I said, listen, how many of them are there? Like at the end of the day, if you're happy with the card, I know you're not happy with paying what you're going to pay, but how many of them are there? So like when you operate in that world and once you get one, you realize there aren't that many, right? If you're a Matheson collector or whatever you are, right? And so he said to me, we talked for he was sitting there for 20 minutes talking to me. And eventually he just left. He's like, I know what I'm going to do. He left. Like, oh shit. Because he was going to spend his whole budget. And he came back and he had the card. And I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying that, boy, the card, he loved the card. And he's not going to find another one.
When you see a card like that you never see and you can afford it, get it. Because next time you see it, you probably will be able to afford it.
Yeah, and I think that's the knowledge.
There it is.
Woo,
Shit, man.
that's a beauty.
Yeah, that's the card. That's
is
the
that
card.
which is that the which one is that? Standard caramel, American caramel,
That's
Philadelphia caramel.
Is it the E98? E98. Right? I already forgot what it was. Let me see.
Yeah, we looked at the pop report. It was something
Just
like
look on the back.
E98. E98.
Does it have something on the back?
There's a checklist.
That's the standard. I think the American says American caramel on the back.
Yeah, but the standard's E93. Standard caramel is E93.
What does it say on the flip, Rick?
E98. E98.
But it doesn't have a. I think there's a maker for that. There's the E101, which doesn't.
1910
I guess
I don't have the card with me right here. So.
maybe there's not a maker on it.
George, what were you going to say about that? Cut you off, George. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say the same thing that I've kind of the theme is that, and you like when I left earlier and the Shoeless Joe strip card, I have a little thing on my phone of regret cards. And to remind me that you need to step up when the time is right to step up, right? It's like when I met my wife. It's like the time was right to step up, and thank God I did. I stepped into that space, right? But I mean, I think we all sat around the table, by the way. Here's another story, and I'm just going to segue. We sat around the table, and it was John and Rick and James and myself and a bunch of other guys at the Lowe's, and we're talking about how long we've been married to our wives. And I'm like, man, these guys all have been married to their wives a long time, right? It was like, man, Rick, I think you were the senior member. Weren't you like 31, something like
32
that?
years.
32. And John was like the same as me. He was like 25, 24.
45 years for me.
I had my 26th anniversary while I was at the National.
Yeah. So it's like, you're just sitting there with a bunch of like-minded dudes who honestly have similar values to some degree, but not that it's not for everybody. I get it. But anyway, the whole idea is when you know a keeper, you get the keeper, right? It's the same idea.
Yeah. James, you got to step up, James.
Yeah,
James is already there.
I'm already married, man.
James, he didn't tell anybody.
You didn't tell me.
We didn't get to dance at his wedding.
I
Rick didn't get to catch the bouquet. He just snuck off and got married without us.
Yep, definitely. I
And
didn't
who was it that busted you? Somebody saw a ring on your
Somebody
finger
saw the ring. Yeah.
in the video.
think it was Don.
I think it was Lou.
Dawn. I think it was Dawn.
I think it was
Gotta
Don.
be Dawn.
Oh, it was Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busted.
But I'm saying that, like, when you know that it's the right person, like the car, don't be stupid. Don't be like, oh, well, boy, I can wait. I can find another one. It's going to be okay. This is stupid. Like, this is stupid thinking. Like, it in your heart. It in your gut. Just go with it. Accept it. Right?
Don't you miss the old days where you could be like that? Oh, I'll find another one. I'll find another one at a better price. Those days are gone.
Gone.
That motto had me
Like Leonard
losing
Skinner,
my-
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, a 36 worldwide gum, Joe DiMaggio, slipped through my fingers because I had that motto. There'll be another one. And
You've been talking about that card to me since the first time you called me 5 years ago.
that's my one card that's in my craw.
Yes, you have not gotten over that one.
No, that's the one that got away, man. My white whale.
It was at the National. I was looking at it. I almost bought one.
I
Yeah,
want one
which
too,
was-
man. So bad.
He wanted $7,000 for it in a 2, but it was too much toning
Okay,
for me.
that's not bad though. That's
Yeah, but
reasonable.
Yeah, that's the going rate. I think he paid $6,600 for it a year or two ago. The dealer. So I looked it up on VCP, but it does have quite a bit of toning to
Dude,
it.
Rick is like the FBI. He's like, yeah, he paid this much.
Oh,
I
I
know
know.
But I
When
agree
I want
with
to know
Rick.
how
It's
much
gotta-
I should pay, I reach out to him.
It's got. I mean, if you have second thought, like
Yeah.
know,
It's got to be the right card,
Yeah.
Rick.
Rick will be like, this one sold in 2019 for this. It sold again in 2022 for this. And it sold 3 months ago for this. And that guy's smoking crack. He's asking that. That's what he always tells me.
You know that if you bought a card and Blue Jacket 66 is like, I'm just trying to get an authentic of this card, and you've got a number on your card, you're good.
Yeah, you know.
You've done
You
well.
know you're going to have to shell out some money, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blow his cover because he had the most interesting buy trade ever. And I'm
Yes,
not.
he did.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he has to do it himself. It's the
Yeah.
craziest thing that I even said, hey, 5 years ago, you would have never done this. Never in your lifetime done this.
I bet it involves a Pokemon card.
Yeah, it was great to see him with his son
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
walked with him for
Yeah.
a little while.
Great
I
to
got
hang
spend-
out with.
I got to walk with his son looking at tables of Pokemon cards, which I thought I would never do.
Yeah, his son's nice. I always
Yeah.
talk to him.
Great
I always
kid.
talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great to see him. And his son, he's always has a smile on his face. He's on the
Always.
phone
Yeah.
all the time talking to his girlfriend. And
You
yeah,
know,
it just puts a smile on
Dave,
his face.
Dave is a lot more just calm, and you know what I mean? Just talking to Dave in person, never met him. Just a calm dude, just talking to him. You know what I mean? Like in his videos, he's very
Intense.
what's the word?
He's very stoic, emotionless.
Intense, authoritarian, expert. Yeah, like
When I first met him at the National, he came running over, big smile, and gave me a big hug. And I wasn't expecting that. I wanted to be like that, but I wasn't expecting it from his videos. Like, he was so much warmer and
yeah,
in person.
yeah. I was gonna say
for
like
sure.
I got a feeling like he's a warm person, like Midwestern,
Yeah,
Kansas
yeah.
City, just cool.
Yeah, and he's always smiling at the card shows and stuff, and he doesn't do that on his video. He's very very serious on his video.
It's like, stop being so goddamn serious, Dave.
Yeah, I told him I guessed his profession immediately, like just by his personality, I could tell what he did for a living.
Nice. Well, guys, any other lasting thoughts you wanna chime in on, or we've been on for almost 2 hours?
Yeah,
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I need a dart.
Yeah.
my wife was away, and I have been on with you guys. And of course, I was away over my anniversary at the National with Rick. So I think I need to go.
Is Chris
I got
still
to go.
Is Chris from Missouri still in the chat?
Yeah, I think he is. And Chris, I spent some awesome time with Tom and Coop. Great guys. And also the little girl Finley and her father were great people.
Hey, and the Misfits
Yes,
are
they
coming.
were.
The mayor, Misfits are coming to Strongsville.
Yeah.
Warning.
Rick and I got a picture with Finley, and we looked through all her cards. We hung out with them for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She was
Hey,
great.
yes,
Right, I'm going to see you guys.
All right. Chris is on. Chris is on.
We're going. We're going to be there. All right.
Where's
So
Chris?
Orlando, good seeing you again. Good luck tomorrow, man. I mean,
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I
praying
gotta
for you, dude.
gotta be at the
Praying for
hospital at 8 o'clock in the morning, so
Praying for
gotta
you.
get a good night's sleep. Thanks so
All
much,
right.
guys. I
Thanks
really
for coming
appreciate
on.
all
Take
the
care,
support
Orlando.
and all the
All the
friendship.
best for you, my friend.
Love you guys. Thank you.
All right.
yes. Thank you. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, we thank you for joining us, and we're happy to do another Hobby Hump Day hangover for the National. And thank you, Orlando, for joining us. I know a lot of people have the fatigue of so many videos, but hey, this was just something to help you guys maybe experience it if you weren't there through our eyes, and for us to maybe just talk about both sides as a collector and a dealer, you know. So it was fun, guys. But until hopefully maybe next week, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, bye.
Bye.